Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Harshita, pursuing my degree in SVCE 4th semester CST department. Today in this video we are going to see about the human heart. Now, firstly we'll see introduction to human heart. Humans have known about the heart since ancient times, although its precise functions and anatomy were not clearly understood. From the primarily religious views of earlier societies towards the heart, ancient Greeks are considered to have been scientific understanding of the heart to the ancient world. Aristotle considered the heart to be organ responsible for creating blood. Plato considered the heart as the source of circulating blood, and Hippocrates notes blood circulating cyclically from the blood through the heart to the lungs. Noted the heart as pump, causing a deletion of blood vessels, and noted the arteries and veins both radiate from the heart, becoming progressively smaller with distance, although he believed they were filled with air and not blood. He also discovered the heart valves. Modern days. In modern days, William Harvey's book completely describes the systematic circulation and the force of heart, leading to the overhaul of the Clanic doctrines. Now, let us see about the interesting facts about the human heart. In human heart, each day your heart beats 10,000 times. Each time your heart pumps 1.5 gallon of blood. Heart disease is the one of the cause for the human head death. A normal heart valve is about the size of half-dollar coin. The largest heart ever recorded belonged to the Gray valve. Now moving on to functions of the human heart. Pumps oxygenated and nutrient-rich blood of the blood body through blood vessels. Pumps deoxygenated blood containing waste to the lungs where gas exchange to the outside environment occurs. Here is the diagram of functions of human heart. In heart, there are four chambers of heart, namely left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and right ventricle. Here is the diagram of the four chambers of heart. Here is super vena cava, aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, left atrium, right atrium, pulmonary valve, tricuspid valve, right ventricle, left ventricle. Now let us see the functions. Atria, the upper two chambers of the heart, receives and collects blood. Septum, muscles that divide the heart into right and left valves. There are four types of valves. Four heart valves, tricuspid valve, pulmonary seminal valve, mitral valve, aortic valve. Purpose, prevent backflow of blood, keep blood flowing in one direction. Ventricles, the lower two chambers of the heart pump blood out of the heart. Now let us see heart as a pump system. Heart is a sort of like a pump or two pumps in one. The right side of your heart receives blood from the body and pumps into lungs. The left side of heart does the exact opposite. It receives blood from the lungs and pumps it out of the blood. The human heart is very strong and capable of pumping blood up to 30 feet distance. An average heart beats maximum of 70 to 80 beats per minute and considered heart is healthy. The efficiency of the heart can be maintained and improved by performing physical activity. The heart is called double pump because each side pumps blood into different circulations. Deoxygenated blood from the body drains to the right side of the heart. This is the first pump that sends blood to the lungs, called the pulmonary circulation, where it becomes oxygenated and releases carbon dioxide. Here is the heart pumping system. Now let us see cardiac cycle. The cardiac cycle is a sequence of events in which heart contracts and relaxes with the heartbeat. At the beginning of the cardiac cycle, the ventricles are relaxing as they do so. They are filled by body blood passing through the open mitral and tricuspid valve. After the ventricle have completed most of their filling, the atria contract, forcing further blood into the ventricles and pumping the blood. Next, the ventricles start the contract. As the pressure rises within the cavities of the ventricles, the tricuspid are forced shut. As the pressures within the ventricles rises further, exceeding the pressure with the aorta and pulmonary arteries. The aortic and pulmonary arteries valves open. Blood is ejected from the heart, causing the pressure within the ventricles to fall. Simultaneously, the heart atria refill as blood flows into the right atrium through the superior and inferior vena cava and it into left atrium through the pulmonary veins. Finally, when the pressure within the ventricles falls below the pressure within the aorta and atria are the aortic and pulmonary valves closes. The ventricles start to the relax and mitral the open and cycle begins again and again. Now let us see the cardiac output. Cardiac output, namely C and CO, is a measurement of amount of blood pumped by each ventricle stroke volume in 1 minute. This is calculated by multiplying the stroke volume by the heart beats per minute of the heart rate. So that CO is equals to SV into HR. The cardiac output normalized to the body size through body surface area and is called a cardiac index. Here is the cardiac output diagram. Electrical conduction of human heart. The normal rhythmically heartbeat called sinus rhythm is established by the heart's own pacemaker, the sinusoidal node, also known as sinus node or the SA node. Here, an electrical signal is created that travels through the heart, causing the heart muscles to contract. The sinusoidal node is found in the upper part of the right atrium near the junction with the superior vena cava. The normal resting heart rate is called a sinus rhythm, created thus sustained by sinusoidal node, a group of pacemaker cells found in the wall of the right atrium. Cells in the sinusoidal node do this by creating an action potential. Here is the electrical junction of human heart diagram. Now moving on to heart diseases. Cardiovascular diseases, which include diseases of the heart, are the leading cause of health worldwide. The majority of cardiovascular disease is non-communicable and related to lifestyle and their other factors, becoming more preventable with aging. Heart disease is a major cause of death, accounting for an average of 30% of all deaths in 2008 globally, namely heart failure, cardiomyopathy, coronary heart diseases, valvular heart disease, cardiac arrhythmias, congenital heart diseases. Heart disease is a diagnosis by taking of medical history, a cardiac examination, and further investigations including blood test, electrocardiograms, and imagining other invasive procedures such as cardiac catheterization can also play a role. Blood tests play an important role in the diagnosis and treatment of many cardiovascular conditions. Heart sounds electrocardiogram using surface electrodes on the body. It is the record as. Now let us see the reasons for blockage of blood vessels. Coronary artery disease is a common heart condition. The major blood vessels that supply the heart struggle to send enough blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the heart muscles. Cholesterol deposits plaques in the heart arteries. Inflammation are usually that cause the coronary artery diseases. Besides, high cholesterol damage to the coronary arteries may be caused by diabetes or insulin resistance, high blood pressure, not getting exercise, and smoking or tobacco use. Treatments for that. A cardiac stent is a mesh tube the size of a figure or smaller made of what chromium alloys or stainless steel. It is placed into a narrow. The main purpose of cardiac stents is to make sure to the circulatory system to the heart is running in proper order. The stent enlarges a part of artery which helps improve blood flow. Though the process rest on is the stent is coated with a certain medication that prevent into from narrowing and collaging. Treatments. Pacemakers. A pacemaker is a small device that placed in the chest to the help control of heartbeat. It's used to prevent the heart from beating too slowly. Implanting a pacemaker in the chest requires surgical procedure. A pacemaker is also called as a cardiac pacing device. Two types. There are types of devices, types of pacemakers. Single chamber pacemaker, dual chamber pacemaker, biventricular pacemaker. In a single chamber pacemaker, this type usually carries electrical impulse to the right ventricle of your heart. Dual chamber pacemaker, this type carries electrical impulse to the right ventricle and right atrium of your heart to help control the timing of contractions between the two chambers. Biventricular pacemaker. Biventricular pacing, also called as cardiac resynchronization therapy, is the people who have heart failure and heartbeat problems. This type of pacemaker stimulates both the lower heart chambers to make the heart beat from efficiently. Pacemaker had two types: pulse generator needs electrode, pulse generator and electrodes. Now let us see about the calculators. Kind of not breathing on breathing normally. A defibrillator AED is a device that gives a highly energy electrical shock to the heart of someone who has collapsed and is cardiac arrest. There are some number of makes of defibrillators. They all do some job. Each type talks you through what you need to do. There is no need to worry. Won't be able to shock someone who doesn't need it. Has a AED will only deliver a shock if it is required. There are three types of defibrillators, namely AEDs, ICDs, and WCDs. AED is a lightweight battery operated portable device that checks the heart rhythms and sends a shock to the heart and restore normal rhythm. ICDs are placed through surgery in the chest or stomach area where the device can check for arrhythmias. Arrhythmias can interrupt the flow of blood from your heart to the rest of your body or cause your heart to stop. WCDs have sensors that attach in the skin. They are connected by wires to the unit that checks your heart rhythms and delivers shock when needed. Here is a diagram of life-saving defibrillators. Defibrillation is done like defibrillated paddle, electric current to earn ventricles. Now moving on to our end of the topic, that is conclusion. The heart is life-giving, ever-beating muscles, pumps oxygenated and nutrient-rich blood to the blood body through blood vessels. As a conclusion, cardiovascular disease is a disease which is highly prevalent in Malaysia and accounts for 23.5% of death in Malaysia. The heart is very vital and important part of our human body. Arteries, capillaries, and veins work in conjunction to keep all tissues healthy by providing oxygen and other nutrients while removing carbon dioxide and other waste through continuous blood flow. Thanks for watching. Please do like my video and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.